when you're looking at a franchise, so as you get through the process and decide that you want to be in Susie's Yogurt or Mike's Pizza or, Joe's Dry Cleaning, at some point after understanding the cost analysis, you will get what's called the UFDD, which is Uniform Franchise Disclosure Document. In its previous life, it was called the UFOC. So the UFDD has 23 items. So the Federal Trade Commission governs that document has to have the same disclosure for McDonald's that it has for Subway or that it has for Joe's Pizza or Mary's Yogurt. So what that means is item 1, which is predecessors and affiliates. If you go through 23 items, it's going to tell you who previously owned the company, how many affiliated stores they have, so on and so forth. So here's the short answer. If somebody calls me and says, I'm looking at this document, what do I look at? Let me tell you, okay, these are the items that you need to know. Item 4 is litigation. If the franchisor has a fair amount of litigation, allegations of fraud, misrepresentation, that means they're probably not a good guy franchisor, because most times franchisors can avoid that. Doesn't mean all franchisors can, but if you see a document littered in item 4 with a lot of litigation, probably a challenge. If you take a look at item 2, which is the business experience, that's also going to show you who's on the team, how long they've been there. You're going to have a list of officers. Anybody that you're going to come in contact with through the franchise process should be listed in item 2 of the document. You'll get on to item 6 and item 7. Item 6 are ongoing fees in a franchise agreement. So that's going to tell you what your royalty is going to be, what your national ad fund is going to be, any of your other charges, computer, software, so on and so forth. Those are recurring fees that happen in what we call item 6. Item 7, big item to look at. That's your low to high investment. So, is it going to cost you $150 or is it going to cost you $400? So that's going to give you a range of what they spent, the top franchisor or franchisee and the bottom franchisee has spent to open a store. And so that can also include the affiliate. So item 7 is an important item. Then you got to look at item 12. So item 12 is really your territory. So what do you get? Do you get an exclusive territory? Subway over the years has changed its territory model. Its document, it's been in business a long time, Doctors Associated, it's a good company, but they used to give you a 50,000 population trade area. Since then, there's no exclusive trade areas in Subway anymore. So do you have the right to trade in that area? And then if you're in the food business, there's generally provisions that give the franchisor exculpatory right to sell into Kroger or Publix. So let's say it's Hooters. They can sell their wing sauce into Publix or Kroger's or Goodings or whatever the supermarket chain is. So those are things you need to look at inside of that particular provision. And then item 20. Item 20 is a list of franchisees, people who have left the system, if they have, or transfers. If you see a lot of transfers in item 20, that means that there's a lot of people that probably have been unhappy and moved on. If you see a lot of terminations, that means that there's a lot of closures. Item 20 is going to give you a list of outlets. The most important thing you want to do with item 20 is there's a list of all the franchisees and their contact information. So the job that somebody buying a franchise has is to do the research and the due diligence. I would call a sampling of 25 or 35 people, if the system has that many franchisees, and ask them, how was your training? Did they hit the marks on the investment side? Would you do it again? Is it a good financial investment for you? And what do you think of the group leading the company? Because this is a marriage. You're generally signing a 10-year agreement. And so this is a divorce if you want to get out of a franchise agreement. You need to understand that. So I would definitely do my homework, because you're going to marry somebody for 10 years. And at Discovery Day, if you don't like the way that they operate, I would tell you don't buy the ring and don't marry them.